welcome back to Scarlet Rage Vintage, and I am joined by a music icon, I would say.
Calm down, calm down.
This is Gabriella Cilmi. You may know her, she's been in the charts. Musician, performer, writer. We're going to talk about everything from music to vintage and what inspired you. And I wanted to talk to you because obviously you started out really, really young. You were like, I read somewhere you were 15 when you signed a contract. Is that true?
I was about 14 when I signed in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, to Mushroom Records. Kind of started for me there. I used to sing, I sang at like a few festivals and stuff and got spotted.
Because I heard you were really into singing like Led Zeppelin. You were singing totally different music to what your first album was, and that's how you got recognised.
Yeah, I was singing Jumping Jack Flash, a Rolling Stones cover.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I got spotted. But I always felt an affinity with the past, which is funny because we're in a vintage shop right now.
We are in a vintage shop.
I always felt a connection to the music, so whether it was like Blind Lemon Jefferson, old blue Matchbox Blues recordings I loved. So I used to love going back in time, and that was the music that connected with me. Yes.
Well, you won awards for your first album, didn't you? First or second album? You won the Australian Music Award.
Yeah, I just kind of happened.
Because you were young when that happened. You were sort of 15 or 16 when you were winning those awards, and that must have been absolutely like, hi.
When I actually had to accept the awards, I didn't plan a speech because I thought there is no way like I was ever going to win an award.
Okay.
So I just didn't plan or think. So I got up there and I'm like, I was just thanking like my grandparents or my cousins. I had to remember all the people, the record label dudes' names, and I was like, stumbling.
Do you have to thank them?
I guess so. You thank all the people that are kind of involved in the team, but then I just didn't. I found it so hard to remember all these names. And in the papers the next day, there were all these people writing in saying, oh, she needs to go back to school, she obviously can't read or write, she doesn't know how to speak, and that was I thought that was pretty funny.
So you had your first album, and then you came out with your second album.
It was about 2 years after, and started recording straight away, like after I finished touring from the first album.
Oh wow.
And it all got a bit weird because on second albums, a lot of the times, people get scared and they're like, you know, how are we gonna beat, you know, how are we going to sell more records than last time, how are we going to do this? And
yeah, because you had a successful first album.
Yeah, well,
it
went pretty well, and
she's modest.
The second,
it went really, really well.
The second time everyone was a bit kind of, I just remember going from studio to studio to studio, not really having time to knuckle down and make the kind of record that I felt I wanted to make, and ended up being dressed up as a crazy robot lady doing these dance routines. And if anyone knows me, they know that I've got like 2 left feet, like I can kind of, I don't really dance. It became a big machine, and at the end of that whole experience, I was really kind of like wiped out. I just felt really so far from myself.
Yeah.
Like I'd come so far from myself, and I really tried to make it work, and because I was scared that I was going to lose, you know, what I had. And, but there was a time came, and I knew that I kind of had to. It became time for me to kind of take control.
And when I first met you, you were just finishing and filming for your music videos.
Yes.
For not the last album, the album before.
It was the album that I kind of went off and did my own thing, and I released it independently and stuff, which is really cool. I wrote the album basically with my mates, and it was a really good experience for me because I could just let everything out and not have to worry about whether things were hits or not, just write. Yes, that's when I came across your shop, which seemed...
I saw on Instagram that she had put a picture up, and she tagged us and she said, oh, I just found a really cute little vintage shop. And I was like, why wasn't I in? So I don't know how I think it was a happy coincidence. You came in again and I was here, and then I got chatting to your mum, and then got chatting to you, and then it's been a great sort of relationship from then moving forward. Coming
into your shop, I found loads of pieces that fit in, you know, with my videos. When I made this video, Sweeter in History, which we filmed in not far away from Rome. It was really cool. It was my friend Sam Wrench who directed it. He had a house in this place called Casino, which is kind of in between Rome and Napoli. And we like climbed mountains and shot things, and there was one stage where I was like, basically I was kind of like knocking off my old self, which was like me dressed in the white wedding dress, which we got from here. Yeah. We had to film this scene in like a freezing cold lake.
But then, so you came from like doing that on your own and sort of producing it and making it your own baby, and then you've evolved. You and your brother now make music and are in a band.
Yeah.
So tell me how you went from making your own music to then going in with your brother.
On the Sting, I actually wrote a little bit with my brother.
Okay.
I love listening to everything from the past, and he kind of brings the future with him.
Okay, that's a good thing.
And that's kind of how we kind of meet in between. And he's also a multi-instrumentalist and can play like everything.
The sound's totally different from anything you've previously. So how did that evolve?
We've just been kind of, for the past year, been sitting in a room together and just trying to work out, just throwing sounds at each other, throwing ideas around, and it's still evolving, like every day it's still evolving, and it's turned into it's quite guitar-driven music, but still sometimes it's got a bit of an orchestral element now, so it's coming together. At the moment we've kind of got a little team together, but we're going to try and come up with just the sound, everything, as a whole package, and then put it out there and see what happens.
And now let's talk about your love for vintage, because you have got quite a big collection.
Yes, I do have a really cool collection. This is one of the pieces.
Yeah, this is one of ours. What made you get into vintage?
I think, a lot of the times from my mum watching older films.
Her mum is amazing. Let's just put this out there.
She loves 1940s. Like, she used to watch, whether it was like films or, she'd be making something with a 1940s pattern or something. Yeah. So I would always be around it. And the music I loved always, had a vintage kind of feel.
Yeah.
And I love anything, like my whole family's obsessed with Sophia Loren, like Houseboat is one of my favourite films. But going back in time, it just seems so much more romantic.
Yeah.
And it helps you escape. Yeah, and you can get into a personality it helps you perform, actually.
Okay. When I first met you, you were very constructed in your figure. The figure was very figure-hugging. It was sort of very structured.
At the beginning, it was all about the kind of the wiggle dresses.
Yes. She's got enough wiggle dresses.
I've got loads of wiggle dresses, which I can still wear. I just like wear it with my boots, and I'll throw on different kind of jewellery with it. But I love the shapes of vintage clothes. But yeah, I've kind of like been a little bit, what's the word? Like I've been eating a bit more pasta lately and a bit more chop. So the wiggle dresses, I like to go for something looser now.
Your style evolved with it, and I think that's great. Like you used your personality and was like, right, I can style this with this, this and this, and this is how I want it to look. And especially when you were doing the 50s and Sophia Loren, you would build it as a full outfit. You and your mum would be discussing what shoes, what hair, what everything.
I did chop my whole hair off for the look.
So what's the plan for you now, moving forward?
Love to have like our album out, All Kings and Queens, and be touring.
Is that happening? Is there an album being made?
Yeah, so that's what we're kind of working towards, an album.
So thank you very much for joining me, and thank you everyone for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to stalk Gabs. I'm going to put her Instagram, her Twitter and everything down below. And thank you for coming, thank you for having a conversation with me,
thank you
for being here, and thank you and goodbye!
Bye!